A world of knowledge at Elevation Bookshop. Dive into topics like marriage, money, and spiritual growth with our vast reading materials. But that's not all. We are thrilled to introduce new additions like stationeries, notebooks, modeling clay, dictionaries, pencils, kamusi, and more. And calling all students, gear up for success with our back-to-school items, providing you with everything you need to excel in every subject. At Elevation Bookshop, we're here to assist you in finding the perfect resources for your journey. Do you have specific preferences or looking for something special? Visit us at Kenya Cinema Plaza, mezzanine floor, or contact us on 0748 902 225. Elevation Bookshop. Enrich your life.
Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Good evening, good day, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to another episode of the GG Report. I'm your host, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 as always, we are bringing to you, we are live here from the Elevate TV studios, coming to you and for the another exciting episode of the 𝗔𝗔 Report. And today we are blessed. I'm hosting in the studios an amazing guest. We're going to be talking about, I'm going to be introducing him shortly. But before we get there, please share the links wherever you, those of you who are watching, especially on the social media, please, we are live on Elevate TV Kenya Facebook page and YouTube channel. So our YouTube channel is back. We had a little bit of a hitch and we apologize for that. I know some of you were looking for us for the last 7 days. We had a challenge, but we are back now. Yeah, you can see the link on the YouTube. So if you're on the YouTube side of things, make sure you share with your friends. And during the conversation, you can put in your comments in there. We'll be able to sample those comments, and as well in the Facebook side of things. So welcome to the 𝗔𝗔 Report. And as always, the 𝗔𝗔 Report is a platform for big, bold, and honest conversations on a broad range of subject matters, social, cultural, economic, legal, philosophical, theological. Today we're going to be focusing on a bit of politics and, of course, church matters, and you're going to enjoy. So please welcome and join us. My guest on the set here is Bishop Dr. Peter Ambuka. He's the bishop and the leader of the church, 𝗣𝘀𝗪 Cathedral of Grace in Kahao West. And I know some of my friends know him. And I already, some people already know their daddy is here in the studio. So I welcome all of you to join us. Bishop, you're most welcome.
Thank you.
To this show. And I'm amazed that we've not been able to have you here, but here you are.
Yes, thank
so
you.
I want you to look at this camera and just welcome our viewers. Welcome your friends, members of the church, and Christian leaders to come and join us. And then after that, we'll dive into the conversation.
Thank you, Gigi. I really appreciate for this opportunity to be here at 𝗪𝗏𝗧 TV. And I would just want to welcome all of you viewers, wherever you are, my friends, my church members, everybody else who is out there watching me. Share with people the link. Tell others that your bishop is on 𝗪𝗏𝗧 TV. And I know that the Lord is going to bless us even as we engaged on issues that concern the church and this nation as a whole. Thank you.
Most welcome, and thank you very much indeed. I know we are in some common platforms and in matters of church and politics, church and Katiba and church. That's where we are in the same particular forum, and I really felt early this week that I needed us to come in and begin to engage on and talk a little bit. Well, we're going to focus on pastoring because that's our role. Our role is we are pastors.
That's
right. And I'm saying we because you're a pastor, I'm a pastor, and there are many pastors that are listening to us. So the whole question of pastoring and the current political uncertainty here in our nation and of course in the region. As you know very well, Tanzania had some elections last week, and things have not been very well down there. There is a lot of turmoil and confusion, although they actually have already settled the elections and the president-elect is already in office, but there are still a lot of things that are simmering from there. I think next year we're going to be having the elections in Uganda, and then that is 2026, and then 2027 Kenya will be back again on the cycle. So there is a lot to talk about. So Bishop, I want us to start from where I always like us to start. Give us a little bit of your background and your work and how you got to where you are today. You've been in ministry for many years. I think just briefly, how did you get to where you are today?
I joined the full-time ministry at a young age of 20 years. That was in the early 90s, and at the All Nations Gospel Church here in 𝗪𝗪𝗧. That's our mother church.
Yes.
And from there, went to the Bible College. Was an assistant pastor or a trainee, an intern. At that time, we didn't have interns. We were just assistant pastors, assisting the senior pastor in Dandora. That's where I took my internship while I was at the Bible College. And then from there, I was posted to Mathare Valley, the slum, during the time of the El Nino. And it was quite a challenging time coming from a well-off family. You go to the slums, and there you are, you have to minister to these people here in the slum. And during the El Nino, you cross the bridge to go for Bible study. It's raining heavily. When you come back, you find there is no bridge, and you have to spend the night in the church. So Mathare Valley, the slum, really shaped my ministry to love people, to love God, and to see God's miracles. And then in the year 2000, the Lord spoke to me to go and plant the church in Kahawa West, where we are now. This year we were celebrating about 25 years since we planted that church.
Wow.
And other than pastoring, I'm also a counseling psychologist. That's my profession. I usually say my profession is counseling psychology, and my call is pastoring.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm very intrigued by your time pastoring in Mathare Valley. So those of you that are actually interested in pastoring, I think you have a lot to learn. Bishop, that must have been a very interesting period in your life. You are young,
yes,
and here you are in Mathare Valley. How did you survive? You know, the gangs of Mathare, and how was the ministry in general? And did you see some success? And what was your experience like?
Well, I would say that, as I said, it is a place that shaped me ministry-wise. And let me tell you something, Gigi. If they are nice people, genuine people, they are in Mathare, the slums.
Okay.
These people, they love God, and they honor men of God. So during my time there, I was able to interact with them. And by the grace of God, by the time I was leaving that place, God had started doing things there. That's when now Mathare 4A came in, where the Catholic Church was building brick houses. And if you go right now in that place, you'll find that there are roads and there are nice places. And some of the members that I used to pastor nowadays, God bless them. They bought land elsewhere, like Kasarani, Mihango, Utawala, and they have their own houses there. So I would say that my time in Mathare, I really saw the hand of God.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Very, very amazing. Very, very amazing. And I'm glad the Lord, prepared you, shaped you in the very tough places. So welcome. I can see a number of you that have signed up already on the Facebook side of things. 𝗪𝗵𝗃𝗄 Counselor, CPM. Is that your wife?
That's my wife.
Okay, welcome. Welcome, Pastor. Looking forward. And Irene Aoko, Timothy Derito, Grace Waithera, and more. Karibuni sana. Karibuni sana. So, Pastor, let's start with one of the things that I really felt I wanted us to deal with is the idea that we have had some very uncertain political scenarios unfolding in our country, and I'll give you a little bit of context because I want us to dive right into it.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, we had the exit of Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. He's now blessed memories, and of course that wave, as you know, there's still a lot of conversation. Apparently, I think Raila had a bigger than life image.
That's right.
And so today we're still actively talking about him. People are still visiting his farm and Kodoring and all that. So that's still ongoing.
Yeah.
So I want you to give us your view. How has that shaped our politics in this country? And as someone who observes the political development in our country, and you know how a lot of things keep moving and shaping, what do you see happening right now? And is it positive? Is it negative? Do we have anything to worry about, or we should just stay calm and the waters will flow and calm themselves along the way? Yes.
Yeah, indeed, Raila, as they call him, the enigma.
Yes.
The enigma of Kenyan politics, indeed he was, because looking at the elections since the 90s, he was there, but not very conspicuous because the dad was there, Jaramogi Sr. And but we came to feel him in the year 2000 when he said Kibaki Tosha to Uhuru Park.
Yes.
And that was like a rebirth of the nation. And then during that time, they did not blend very well, squabbles in the government. And then we go to 2007 elections, and the disputed election, the post-election violence, and then from there we have the coalition government, and then the election that followed, the election of Uhuru Kenyatta twice, and then William Ruto the other day. In all these elections, you could say that it was Raila on one side and the others on the other side.
Right.
Yeah. And so to say that Raila really was a force to reckon with in this nation. And even in his death, as you can see, people are still flocking there every day. And in fact, today I was just watching Mama Aida appreciating the people who are there. And I looked at her and I said, this lady, I think she has seen it all. And maybe if we were looking for a president, she could make a very good president. Because living with such kind of a man and seeing everything that has happened, and you still sane, you still maintain your composure. Indeed, maybe one of the people that we really need to appreciate and to congratulate and honor is Aida Odinga. But going forward, though, as you can see, everybody is trying to identify themselves with Raila. The president trying to show that they were good friends with Raila. Then there is Kalonzo and his team. They were there, I think it was yesterday, trying to show that they were very close. So everybody will try to do that going to 2027. But I think the words in 2023 by one young lady, a Gen Z, when the maandamano started, the Gen Z maandamano started, the words that she spoke, and she said, "Baba, stay at home. You've done your part. Let us now do our part.
Okay.
Rest." I think that's where we are in the nation now. Baba has rested.
Okay.
It was figurative at that time.
Yes.
It was, we'll do it. But I think now that Raila has rested, we are going to see things changing. Today, I heard the president, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, addressing his party members in Murang'a, and the way he spoke and rebuked even the Secretary General of the party about insulting other people, and he mentioned Gachagua. That tells you that we are in for a great change going to 2027.
Yes.
And even though Raila's shadow will still be there, but I think we are going to see the emergence of new coalitions and partnership, and we might be surprised. The people that we think are going to be together will not be together, and the people that we think they will never see eye to eye, they might see eye to eye as we go to 2027.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So, Bishop, that's true. That's an amazing observation that Kenyan politics is characterized by coalitions and formations and counter coalitions, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah. So I think one of the things that I really thought, and I would like you to speak to, the fact that our politics are quite fluid.
Yes.
And there are a lot of dynamics and a lot of changes. There is a whole generation of young people now coming into the conversation. And of course, the old guard, of course, feel that they also have a contribution. They are not done yet. So it's probably going to be quite fluid. But then now when we look at it, when you look at it from the church perspective, we as the church, and I'm using the word we very deliberately because I think we are on the same side, we are pastors. How do you then, how do you speak to the church and speak to the leaders, the current leaders and the leaders that you have influence over, who might be interested in jumping into these, political conversations? What is your biggest concern?
Well, my biggest concern is when the church refuses to be the church and becomes a tool in the hands of politicians.
Okay.
Where you find that church leaders who are supposed to speak truth, who are supposed to speak against corruption, against tribal politics, against things that are not right in this nation, once they've invited a politician in their church and the politician donates money, then you find that now they no longer want to speak or see the evil in that politician. So that's what worries me, because that's what we've seen happening, that churches are being divided. You find that if this person, this particular political leader is favorable with us and is helping us, then we don't want to speak to them the truth. And that's something that personally I refuse. And as I stand here, I can confidently say I've never taken any politician's money. I've never invited a politician in our church to come and do politics in church, because I don't want you to hold anything on me. I'm a spiritual leader and I need to stand for truth. And I don't want to be so close to you that I cannot tell you that you are wrong. And that's what the church needs to do. I'm not against church receiving donations, but let them not be used to silence the church and to make church leaders not to have a voice. So my worry is as we go to 2027, we might see a repeat of what has been happening in the past, where churches begin taking partisan position, not because they stand for truth, but because they stand with a person who is benefiting them. So that's my greatest worry as we move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, the history of church indulgence in matters politics has not been very good, because often, even if you mean well, things could go very, very fluid within a very short time. For example, you know, it is one thing to support a certain political leader. Of course, and I'm going to ask you to speak to the idea that, of course, when you have a leader who is already elected, and for example, the president and his team, as a church leader, I don't, do you think, let me not put words in your mouth, do you think actually we owe him honor, appreciation, and goodwill? And or should we just be constantly be chipping away at his administration and maybe just again singing along? And I'm talking about specifically church leaders. Do we just become critics? Do we or do we honorably support, at the same time be open and ready to challenge if something is wrong and injustice are taking place?
The Bible tells us to honor those who are in leadership, whom God has placed, honor the government, the president, and those who are elected. But the Bible does not say that we become their sycophants.
Okay.
We need to speak to them in love. The Bible speaks about speaking the truth in love. We need to speak the truth in love when they err. But when they make good things, we need to applaud them publicly and say they've done well. Like the other day, I was in a particular media station, and I said, I think what the president is saying about Kenya becoming like Singapore, Kenya becoming a first world by the year, I think, 2030 something. I think that's a brilliant vision that he has, and I pray that that succeeds, because that's what we want as a nation. So when he does something good, I need to appreciate it and encourage him to continue doing it. But if he errs in a place, I also need, it's also my duty as a church leader to tell him, I think here you're not doing the right thing. And I think also the leaders, our political leaders, need to have a place where church leaders can go and speak to them privately about things that are not right. Those avenues and those channels need to be opened, because if they are not opened, then what you end up doing is you end up speaking it in the public, and which is not usually the best way to do it.
That's true. That's true. I mean, if you must rebuke the president, I think it's ineffective if you go and on your channels or social media platforms and start writing a long list of grievances or things that you think the president is doing wrong, instead of seeking a forum, a formal forum where you can say, or maybe a letter to the president. We've seen, and I think maybe I could note, for example, the Kenya, it's called what? Kenya
Catholic bishops?
Kenya Council of Catholic Bishops. Whenever they have an issue with the government, they actually do a pastoral letter, and they ensure they actually are able to take that straight to the president, and or even do a press conference where they humbly put out their matter in a very formal way, in a way that then respects the office of the president, while at the same time raising their concern. And the last time they did that, and I want you to speak to that, the last time they did that, and I think it was to do with this SHA issue, and the fact that some of their hospitals were owed a lot of money by government, and they raised a cry about that. They were actually invited to a roundtable meeting with the president, and I think they were able to resolve that issue, or at least speak directly to him and present their matters. So do you think that, especially the Pentecostal evangelical side of things, do you think we're doing a good job in that? Are we organized enough? Do you think that we can actually prosecute our matters with the current state or with the current administration with that kind of efficiency?
I think 𝗂𝗑 Evangelical Alliance of Kenya is trying. It's coming very well. I just want to appreciate the General Secretary, 𝗪𝗪. He's really trying to work on that, making sure that he gives memorandums Like I know the religious bill, he has already given a memorandum to Parliament on what Pentecostals we think, and but it has not been there. Most of the time you'll find that the mainstream churches are the ones who had those avenues and those channels, the Catholic Church, the ACK, and a little bit the PCA, even though the PCA was a little bit confrontational with people like Reverend Joya and the rest. But I think that should be, in a democracy that is maturing, we need to have that opportunity where the church has a place where it can air those views. Even though when you talk about the Catholic bishops, when they gave that pastoral letter, there was also some resistance from the government. The government was not very happy about it. But later on, I think the government thought that what they are saying is the truth. Let's bring them on board. And that's how it's supposed to happen. And if it happens like that, I think some of the things that we are seeing, they are boiling over and people begin speaking on social media, in the media, castigating the government, that would not reach there if we have that opportunity to be able to share directly with the government what the church feels is not working right.
Absolutely. Thank you very much indeed. Viewers, as you follow this conversation, we want to appreciate you so much for joining us this evening. We are talking about church and politics and pastoring, in the context of a very, uncertain political times. And I don't know what you're struggling with as a pastor. Maybe you've made a statement in church, made your voice heard, and perhaps there has been a bit of pushback. We're going to be, later on, Bishop, we're going to be talking about the issue of Gen Zs, yes, who came very, very strongly against the church. But just I want to appreciate Apostle Charles Donga, great conversation. Thank you very much indeed that you're following us. Josie Orua following, thank you very much. Diana Abuka, thank you very much indeed. Favored Ephraim, thank you. Lucy Mwega listening. Titus Kiange is watching. Titus, man of God, karibu sana. Pastor Purity McKenna Daniel is watching. Favored Ephraim, church and politics, watching. Mary Abuka, counselor, Mary, Pastor Mary, welcome. Awesome, you're following this conversation. So, Bishop, indeed, church leaders have a very, very important role to play because we got to pastor, the people, even in these circumstances. Maybe perhaps because I know we are just about to go to a break. What are some of the challenges that you found? Some of the questions that have emerged around, say, within the area where you pastor, some of the challenges or issues that you've seen emerging, political in nature, that have maybe troubled you or challenged you in your role of pastoring, in your work of pastoring? Because when we come back to the break, we're going to go into the depth of some of the other major grievances we have seen.
Well, I would say that the normal mwananchi, and because I have them in the church, they are not really doing very well, especially financially. Their businesses, so many businesses are being closed. We've had so many cases where we have to even pay house rent for members of churches who've lost their income, source of income, businesses, children who cannot access education because their parents cannot afford school fees. So I think things are not very good down there, and that's an issue that really disturbs me, because where are we headed? Ask any church, you'll find that even the tithes and the offerings have really gone down, meaning that people are not having income. So that's the economy. That's a very big problem. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. And I think we will hold that there. So Bishop is saying that he is where the people are. He is on the ground. He's got the ears on the ground. So those of you who are looking for people who have their ears on the ground, Bishop is one of them. And almost, practically every pastor every pastor has very, very good view of the dynamics, what people are going through every day. And so that's a wonderful thing. And so we're going to be returning to that. For now, let's take a short break. This is, the 𝗔𝗔 report, and we'll come back and sample your questions, sample your comments. So don't go away. Keep it elevate. Let's take a 2-minute break. We're coming back to this conversation.
Life Church International, the Apostolic House, is taking a bold step of faith, introducing the Infinity Eastern Bypass Land Project, our mission to secure land for God's house, a place where generations will be transformed. To encourage your support, Apostle David Juma is giving a powerful gift, his transformational book, Restructuring Your Money. With every gift of only 2,000 Kenyan shillings, you receive this life-changing book, personally autographed by Apostle David, and you sow into a legacy of faith. Partner with us, possess the land, build God's house. The time is now. Anytime, anywhere. Access inspiration that never switches off. Stuck in traffic? Elevate your mood and own the moment. Just looking busy? Make every second count. Tap into kingdom content instead. One tap, instant power, real transformation. Download the Elevate TV app now. Exclusively on Google Play.
Welcome back. This is the 𝗔𝗔 report, and I believe that those of you that are following us on the social media platforms, very many of you, thank you very much indeed for staying tuned in. And we are talking about church and politics and how to pastor, the challenge of pastoring in these very uncertain political times, with a lot of things going round, and our political climate changing constantly. Sometimes it can be very overwhelming for some of you that are pastors, but if you survive COVID, you can survive any challenge right here. So I want us to dive back to the conversation. We were talking about some of the dynamics, how things have been changing, and some of the challenges pastors are experiencing out there, and people who are on the ground, who are constantly interacting with the church and the common mwananchi, as we say, the common person. So, Bishop, I want to ask you, how we can use our pulpits to shape the narrative. Let me use that word, narrative, to shape politics in our land. Because you see, as a church pastor, you have a very powerful platform. That's right. And many churches now have even media platform. They have social media platform. They're able to amplify their voice. I mean, today I was able to check your services online and see people singing, and you conducting your business as usual. Mm-hmm. So we have new tools that we can actually use to amplify our voice and make our voice heard. Mm-hmm. So the pulpit now, I would say, is an important platform. How can pastors use the pulpit to pastor the nation, and at the same time inspire hope, instead of singing along with the about the despondency, the fact that all things are very hard, the cost of living is very hard. Can pastors use the platform they have to make a difference? So that's the question. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the pulpit is not only important, but it's very powerful. Because when a pastor stands on the pulpit,
yes,
he's speaking on behalf of God. It is God speaking to his people. And when you speak the word of God, when you preach from the word of God, it is God speaking to his people. And we, as pastors, we need to be carriers of hope and be able to encourage people. Because people come, they face difficult times through the week. The business was not doing very well. They had a hard time in the office. And they are coming to church to be encouraged, to be told, try again. Right. Just like the way Jesus told Peter and his friends when they had fished the whole night and they caught nothing. He told them, go and try again. And right. They went and caught something. And that's what the pulpit is supposed to be used for. Personally, I try not to speak politics on the pulpit. I would rather speak it on my social media account. And the reason why I try to avoid that is because the pulpit is a sacred place that needs to be a place where people can come and find hope. Because if I decide to speak against the government on the pulpit, there is a member of the church there who supports the government. What am I telling them? I'm telling them I hate your president.
Yes.
If I speak against the opposition, they are members of my church who belong to the opposition.
Some of them are their relatives.
Yeah. So I really try to use the pulpit for what it's intended for. But that does not mean that if there are issues in the nation, you cannot speak about them.
Yes.
Things that are happening, you can speak about them. The corruption that we have. I think it was yesterday, or is it yesterday or today, the former governor of Nairobi, he was acquitted of corruption. That is Governor Kidero. And why was he acquitted? Because all the 30-something witnesses, they all testified in his favor.
Okay.
Yeah. So you look at that and you say, really? Money got lost. He's not been acquitted because money never got lost. He's been acquitted because these witnesses have decided we are not going to incriminate him. So what does that tell you? So those are some of the things that you really need to also air out. So what I'm trying to say is that the pulpit is supposed to be a place to give hope, but occasionally, when there is need, you need to correct the wrong that is in the society.
That's true.
But you do it in a loving way. And I also believe we should give solutions. Yeah. When you criticize, have a solution.
Yes.
Say what needs to be done. If you say this is not happening well, then you need to offer an alternative and say, I think if you did it this way, it would be much better. But there are people who are good at just criticizing, destroying, but they never give solution. The pulpit should be a place where we offer solutions, even to the nation, solutions that are going to work.
Right.
Yes.
Absolutely. And like you had said before, is speaking truth in love.
Yes.
So it is important to speak the truth, but that truth must be coated with love. And then, of course, I love the idea that we need to avoid politics in the pulpit because the pulpit is a sacred place. It's a sacred space, is a place where we speak for God and we speak the oracles of God. And so that's very, very important. So thank you so much, Bishop. I really think that that's a very, very important distinction. Now, before we out of that, one of the other things, and I don't know whether you've witnessed this, for example, at the lower level, political level, say like at MCA levels, I've noticed that some of the churches, because of their size, they have so much influence and leverage, they can actually determine who gets elected in the local government, let's call it local government, local assemblies. Do you think that churches should take advantage of their numbers to influence, for example, the election of a local member of a county assembly? After all, if you're successful, maybe it's one of your church members, then you stand, a good place with the local government. What do you think about that?
I think it's a little bit complicated because it depends with who is this person.
Yes.
Do you know him? What is his character? Is he qualified? Yes, those are some of the things that you need to look at. I'm going to give you an example of what we did in Kahawa West in the last elections. In the last elections, as pastors in Kahawa, we have a pastors fellowship. And we decided to have a prayer day. Immediately after the nomination of the members of county assembly, we decided to have a prayer day for all members of county assembly. So we brought our finances together as churches, and we went to a neutral ground, a primary school ground called Mahiga Primary School, pitched tent, and we invited all the aspiring members of county assembly. And they came, and also our congregations. And then we gave them 5 minutes each to say who they are and what they would do for. We have 2 wards in Kahawa West,
yes.
Kahawa Ward and Kahawa West Ward. So we told them, tell us what you're going to do for these particular 2 wards. And they said what they had to say. And after that, first of all, we started with the Word of God. We had, at that time, he was the General Secretary of Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, Dr. Nelson Makanda is the one who came and preached very powerful message that resonated with all the politicians that were there. And then after we gave them that opportunity, once somebody speaks and they finish saying what they will do for the people, they go and sign a pledge to maintain peace during that time.
Yes.
And then after that, we prayed for all of them. And surprisingly, members of parliament also came. Aspiring members of parliament, when they heard about it, they came. So
yes.
It was something very good. And what happened is that we told the people, you've heard for yourself. You make your own decision, whom you are going to elect. You've heard them. Some of them have campaigned, and you know who they are. And we got 2 members of county assembly, whom we are also very close with them. Occasionally we call them for prayers. We also call them to ask them what is happening, the developments that are supposed to be happening in the wards, and they come. So I think that's the role that the church should play, a role of bringing these politicians and allowing them a forum where others can hear about what they are doing, and then pray for them and ask the congregation or the voters to make the right choice. And in 2027, we want to roll that in the entire 𝗖𝗪𝗪 constituency.
Okay.
We want everyone to have such kind of a prayer meeting, and then we also have for the members of parliament. We call all the aspiring members, we pray for them. I think that is what's supposed to happen. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm really smiling. I'm smiling because I think that's a very, very powerful and practical, approach to, leveraging the role, the power of the church, and leaders like, bishops, leaders like you. And those of you that are following this conversation, I would like to hear from you. What have you done, and what has been your experience? 2027 is coming again, and some of your relatives and your friends are going to be stepping into the ring and vying. As a church and as a church leader, what can you do to prepare the people, to prepare the leaders, and even the people, even to challenge those that are beginning to aspire? Bishop, I'll let you know that now it's not now going to be once. This same week, as we are having this show, one man who is a frequent worshiper in our church came to us, and he's already has his mandate out there. He's going to be vying for the local government elections, and so this is beginning to happen.
Yes.
So mine is to maybe even ask and engage those who are out there. What are you doing to make a difference.
That's right.
And so this is very powerful. I thank God for what you guys are doing. And do you think that there is a way this can be scaled across maybe more than the Roysambu constituency? Can others reach out to you? And do you think this is how we should be going about matters?
Yes, I think this is something that can be scaled up. And if there are pastors, fellowships out there that would like to engage with me, how to do it, I'm very free. I can come and we talk and we see how we can do it. Because for us, we had targeted, because it's something that we want to scale up to the presidential level. But we wanted to begin, you know, we usually say, there is a saying that goes, think global but act locally.
Yes.
Yeah, so we begin where we are,
yes.
and it has worked. Then now we want to scale it to Roysambu. Then the other election, we want to scale it to Nairobi County.
Yes.
And then we see if we can take it all over the nation. But if God allows it, and in 2027, we have people coming on board, and we can scale it up nationally and have such kind of an engagement, I believe the church can really influence the way politics are going to be done in this nation, in a godly way, in a peaceful way, in a way that the politicians will be accountable to the people. Because what we did is that when we brought the members of parliament, the members of county assembly, those who are elected, they knew that they are accountable to the people.
Yes.
And so anytime we call them for town hall meeting, they will come gladly.
Yes.
And we don't come to fight them. We just come and want to hear what is happening. And by the way, there are many things that they do. It's only that they don't also have an opportunity to air them out. So when they come, like we had one engagement early this year with them, and we were surprised the plans they have for the wards, and we can see them being implemented. You know, the problem with many people is that they want to see things happening immediately.
Yes.
They don't know it's a process. There is a budgeting aspect of it. Like for example, budget for next year is being worked on this year. So nothing can happen this year that was never budgeted last year. So once you engage with them, you come to realize that they are doing the right things. It's only that they don't have an avenue to air them out. So it's something that can be scaled up, and I think if it is scaled up, it can bring a very big difference in the politics of this nation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so let's now look at the national picture. When you look at the way our politics are going, what do you think is the biggest political challenge of our nation? Is it corruption? Is it poor leadership? Is it lack of vision? Is it maybe craft, vices? What exactly, in your view, is the biggest political challenge facing this nation?
You'll be surprised what my answer will be.
Yes.
I think our biggest challenge is systemic. The system.
Yes.
You hear when the president came in, he spoke about the cartels.
Yes.
This is a system that has been there since independence.
Right.
And personally, I've tried to study it. And you'll find that any president who comes in, he means well. But before you know it, he's thrown in by this particular system.
Yes.
The cartels. You start hearing of corruption in his government and all those kinds of things. So it is a very deep problem that is embedded in the political system of this country.
Okay.
And it will take people who are godly, people who are visionary. When you look at the story of I'm going to give you two examples, two countries. Singapore, for them to rise out of where they were, where they had been rejected by Malaysia, and they are landlocked, and it looked as if there is nothing much they can do. The prime, I don't know if it was the prime, I think the prime minister, he took drastic actions and decided to deal with the systemic cartels in government. And that is how they were able to achieve what they achieved. Another example is Ghana, when the late Jerry Rawlings took over in a coup. What he did to eliminate, because there was a lot of corruption in Ghana, what he did to eliminate corruption is, and I don't say we do that, he took drastic measures.
Yes.
He gave the politician and government officers amnesty. If you know you are corrupt, please come and present yourself and bring what you've stolen. And after the amnesty, those who never did that, they were all arrested, taken to the stadium, and they were executed by a firing squad. And that brought fear amongst the politicians. And for some time, when Jerry Rawlings was ruling, you not hear of corruption in Ghana. Corruption has just come back the other day. So I think that's the biggest problem. And it would take the entire political class to make a decision that we need to change things for our people. Because if that does not happen, even in 2027, we get a new president. What will happen is that they'll find themselves in the same quagmire. Because that's what the problem of Kenya is.
Yes.
It's something systemic that is a very big problem. And I think also the current president has faced it. Because I was a great fan of him. When he took over, I supported him. And I was behind him. But later on, you started seeing things not really happening the way they are supposed to happen. Appointments, he said, no tribal appointments all over the place. Zero tolerance to corruption. You hear of corruption here and there. But I believe it is something in the system that really pulls people down. Because if the president, and even today, if he would go back to what he promised he would do when he was campaigning,
yes,
I want to assure you Kenya can change.
Yes.
But will the system allow him to do that?
Okay.
So that's where the problem is.
Absolutely. That's a very huge problem. That's a very huge challenge here. I'm talking to Bishop Dr. Peter Mbuka here, and we're talking about church and politics, pastoring, and a very and a political uncertainties. And Bishop, you've really nailed down that problem. I remember one time hosting a guest here, a man from Australia, and he said that corruption is like it's part of the fabric of our society. It's like if you have a fabric and there is the one wire, one string that is, say, like pulled off. If you pull that, actually it kind of leaves it can damage that garment. Or if there is one of the strings, one of the fabric that is actually in the wrong place, it would take very careful handling for it to be removed. So, as you say, corruption is a big problem in this country, but we must all act one and all. We must all actually jump and join into the fight against this vice, and that's amazing. I will try and read some of your comments as we keep going, and then so that we don't leave you behind. But keep sending your comments. Bishop, how about we had a regional, we mentioned at the beginning that obviously Kenya is we are within this East Africa community, and there are a lot of things that are shifting. I would like to hear your wisdom, for example, concerning some of the challenges we are now seeing in our neighboring countries. Do you think that this new wave of people now protesting for their rights, and so if politicians don't act right, they come on the street, the whole thing of protest, agitation, and these things which are becoming so violent, what does that mean for our politics? And do you think that there is another way that our politics can be prosecuted instead of people every time going to the street and protesting? And do you think that we will produce good, or are we sitting, and 2027 becomes another bloodbath? What do you think can be done? What is going to happen given this reality of this agitation from the bottom?
I think the politicians need to read the writing on the wall.
Okay.
The population that we are dealing with, they are very enlightened.
Yes.
Because the world has now become a village. They see what is happening all over the world, and they want rights. They want the kind of life that Americans live. They want the kind of life that the Australian live. They want the kind of life that Koreans live. And they are not settling for less. They can see how other countries have been governed, and they want the same kind of quality of leadership. So it is for the politicians to make a decision. Do they want to see these demonstrations all the time? Because they will happen. Because if you don't listen to the people, what are they supposed to do? Let me go back to Kenya getting our independence, because I usually hear that people saying, we should not go in the streets because of A, B, C, D. But imagine if the 𝗲𝗲 never went to the forest.
Yeah.
We will still be under the colonialists. Yeah?
Yes.
And when they went to the forest, I was reading an article today in the social media, and there was a poster that was put out of 𝗲𝗲 terrorists, whom the government of that time was looking. They were called terrorists, you see?
Yes.
And yet, today we call them freedom fighters.
Right.
Okay? Now let's come to the 90s, when we had the church leading the agitation for multipartyism. By the way, it is a church that led that. People like Bishop Alexander Muge, people like Gitari and the other, they led that agitation. Akina Mwananzeki, akina Okulu, the church was at the forefront of making sure that we have a multi-party country. And people went to the streets, and people were killed. Sabasaba, the Matibas, the Orengos, the Jaramogis. If they never did that, we would never have had multi-partyism. Then we have the new constitution, again led by the church. Somebody like Reverend Timothy Njoya, he was clobbered here outside Parliament because of saying we need to have a better constitution. Yeah. So without that, we would not be having the new constitution. The Maandamano was there, and so what that says is this: will the politician read the writing on the wall and say these people, they are demanding for better governance, and they will not take lesser than that? They are demanding that we listen to them, because, by the way, our leaders are our servants.
Yes.
And they are supposed to serve us. We are their employers.
Yes.
We employ them through our vote. And we sign a social contract with them, telling them you will do this and this and this, and for you to build us road, you'll need to tax us. But before you increase the taxes, you need to consult with us, the employers, to tell you if you are able to afford. So I think it is something that the politicians need to really take note of, and they are the ones who hold the key, whether people will go to the streets or not. Because after all, in our constitution, the right to go to the streets and picket is enshrined there. It's a right.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but if they do the right thing and they listen to the people, nobody will go to the street.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I have one more question for you, Bishop. Do you think our current generation of church leaders have the courage and the wherewithal to rise up and subject themselves to to the kind of pain and frustration that some of the leaders that have gone before actually did? I mean, you've mentioned a long list of bishops, you know, who really paid a very heavy price, and some of them the ultimate price for our freedoms to do. Do you think our leaders have that courage?
Well, that's a tough question.
Yes.
Because I'm also inside there.
Yes.
And I think we are seeing some, not all.
Yes.
You've spoken about the Catholic bishops, and we have the Anglican Archbishop Ole Sapit and many others. Ambuka, you can also put him there.
Yes.
There are those who are willing.
Yes.
But I'm not seeing a lot who are coming out and really speaking to the issues that affect the nation.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now we are almost out of time here, and I just want to read very, very quickly on the social media side of things. YouTube, those of you that are following here, watching my bishop live, that is Samuel Juma. And Joseph, he says, that's my bishop. Wilberforce Media, I'm watching. Blessed Liz Jesus, blessed Liz Jesus, watching. Samuel Juma is saying church and politics, very important conversation. Thank you very much. Thank you, Bishop Abuka. And Chalimo Flo says very impressive and important conversation indeed. Thank you, all of you that have been tuned in and following this conversation. We are out of time, Bishop. And indeed, thank you for actually laying it out there and actually contributing to this unending conversation and also giving us very, very practical things that we can do in the local setting, like some of the work that you did with the MCAs, members of the county assembly, and then of course it attracted the members of parliament. And I believe now next year, next election cycle, you're going to be more prepared. Thank you so much, Bishop, for being here. So I want you to look at that camera and I want you to give your parting shot. This is going to all the leaders, what you think they should do, just in very, very brief. Okay. 30 seconds. Yeah, so I'll just to appeal to our political leaders. You lead people and they deserve the best from you. So do your best to make sure that Kenyans have what it takes to be up there and to be proud to be Kenyans, like other countries that are developed. And we are able, if we harness what we have and do the right thing. God bless you so much. Asante sana, Bishop. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. This has been an amazing conversation. Yes, it may be tough to pastor, but you have to be courageous and make sure you do your role. And thank you all of you that were tuned in. This has been an amazing show. And so from my desk here at Elevate TV, the Gigi Report, we will see you another day. Keep it elevate, and thank you for staying tuned in. My name is 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪 and I love you, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.